But it all depends on what you believe. You are ultimately constrained and enabled by what you believe. And if you don't believe this, or believe only part of it, or some, you won't do anything that you don't believe. You cannot essentially do anything that you don't believe is possible. I mean, there are anomalous kind of things about women picking up cars to get their kid out from underneath the car because they do extraordinary things that nobody thought was possible, but that's an extremist. But I mean, in general, in terms of how you live your life, you're constrained by what your beliefs are. And so what that means is that this whole evolutionary push, this transition, we have the responsibility to initiate the changes that are required to generate these kind of results. If we do not do that, it will not happen. It depends on what we believe is possible. And so this is a global mind shift. This is a reconfiguration of the whole kind of framework around which we all live and how we understand who we are and what we can do and what our role is in all of this. And so what comes out of it is a new human and a new world. And at the core of this is the notion that you just have to be different, right? That you cannot keep doing the things that you have been doing. By definition, you won't change, and you won't get somewhere else. You keep doing the same thing. And so you have to underline this, underneath all this thing, says that you just got to start being different than you have been. That's not easy. That's not easy for lots of reasons. I mean, we all want stability. We want comfort. We want all these kind of, we want to have some predictability and all of this kind of stuff. No. That means no change, right? If it feels good and it's predictable and it's comfortable, it hasn't changed. I mean, that's the way it works. And if you're going to get into a new space and go to a new place, then it's going to shift. It's going to change, and it's going to be different. And we all have to be different, become different, in order to operate in this new space. But because it's a new world that operates around a whole different set of principles and things. Now, how you play and prepare yourself for this, some of us think we've got this role to help facilitate this transition to a new world. I mean, somebody told me that 25 years ago, and I believed it. And so that's what I'm doing. But that's not what everybody's got to do. At all, not even close. I like to say that the world needs cab drivers. I mean, it's hard to get around a big city if you don't have a cab driver. So we really need cab drivers. I mean, everybody's got a different role to play in terms of how you get down to this stream. And what Caleb Seth Pearl and whoever he's channeling says, you get to choose all this. It's your rightful inheritance. It's a question of changing one's understanding about your life experience, and anybody can do this. Now, that's an important idea. Anybody can do this. I mean, if you think about all of this, I told you, I've been all around the world, going to all these workshops, man alive. I know all these guys. They're all friends of mine, kind of. And so I've been to them all. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to go to some guru in India in order to make it through. Only people who have been to this guru in India can make it through this thing, right? I mean, if you don't go to a Greg Braden conference, you can't make it to this thing. I mean, if you haven't gone to the week-long extended advanced thing for Joe Dispenza, you cannot make it. If you haven't read No, no, it's obvious. No. I mean, it's the same as saying, well, you got to make $83,000 or more a year or something in order to get into. No. You have to have a master's degree. No. No. This, by definition, is accessible to anybody. It has to be. Which is not to say that, going to Joe Dispenza's thing or Greg Braden or any of these guys is not helpful, or it helps get you there, but that's not the thing. It's not limited to special groups. This is about who you are, not what you've done. And by the way, when I was in college, one of the seminal kind of moments, I can remember, it's like a sophomore year or something, I was at this Christian college in Northwest Arkansas, and they were the Bible-believing group of people. And I remember Jesse Jackson was just kind of making a name for himself, and he was on the news, and he said, I don't believe all the Chinese are going to hell because some white person doesn't get over there and tell them about Jesus Christ. I said, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, what do you mean? We're limited by the number of missionaries we've got. Well, what? No. This is like universally available to anybody. And so it's those people who have built a new personal reality that extracts yourself, and you don't, it helps to, Lord knows, Gary, some of you know, I've got books all over my floor, that were books that I've read or need to read, and so I'm not against reading and learning things from other kind of people. But in the end, this is about who you are and how you see the world and how you define reality, because that is the kind of the environment that provides a congruity for this giant kind of transition. Daniel Brinkley, who kind of a famous guy who got struck by lightning and died and then died a couple other times. But the time when he got struck by lightning, he went off and had this extended interaction with, he had a full-blown near-death experience or out of near-death experience. And, he went off and this energy light being thing took him around and told him all kinds of things, and he says in the book, it kind of just distills it all down to 3 words: just love everybody. That's what this is all about. Just love everybody. I mean, if you just want a bumper sticker saying about how do you get from here to there, just love everybody. Any of you here love everybody? Everybody? Like everybody? Not me. I mean, it's a nice little, thing. You can, like you say, you can put it on the back of my truck. I gotta love everybody. How do you do that? Because if you do that, if you can get into that space, what it does, by the way, it gives you direction in your life. It tells you where to go. And it gives you a perspective. You see the world in a whole different kind of way. And it also gives you protection, because like I told you about, when you get into that space, you're not giving off all that jagged energy that those guys like to feed on. And so, like I say, you don't have to go to Bruce Lipton to learn this. You can be in Africa or South America or China or any other kind of place, and you can find this space. And let me say again, it's not wrong to go to Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden and all these guys, because they got wonderful things to say about. But in the end, It's that boom, that space in the middle that starts to say, you look at the world and you look at yourself in a fundamentally different kind of way, because you are going in a different direction. You see the world in a different kind of way. And you have this sense of safety and, insulation almost, that you say, I don't have to worry. What protection means is you don't have any fear. That's what protection means. So you're in this space and you're going down this. This is a really fundamental area. It means you have to have a different reality, right? I mean, none of us say we love everyone, so this has got to be a different reality, because there's a space in there where you love everyone. And now, I don't mean that you're, everybody in the supermarket, no. I mean, but there is a mindset that's this. It's more than the only word I can think of right now is accommodating. It's not. It's much more than that. But what it essentially says, that it's all okay, and all these people are good, and they're all doing their own thing, and it's all okay. It's right. It's okay, and I don't have anything to worry about. And frankly, I don't care what they all do, because I'm just working on myself, and by the way, it opens up and starts to influence on people around you, because there's an openness and a lightness and so on about how you see the world and how you see other kind of things that is very kind of addictive. It's about an expanded awareness. That's where we started, remember, the first slide. And this awareness, when you expand your awareness, what it does is it changes your beliefs. When you see the world in a different way, then you believe that it works differently than you thought it did. And then it changes your perspective. So then you start to fill in all of around the beliefs and things, and you build this structure, a paradigm. That's what a paradigm means, is how framework and from which you understand reality. And then you make decisions differently, and then you make actions differently. And so it all starts with this expanded awareness, and once you do that, then you start into beliefs, but it's all about beliefs. And so what you really need going into this space is a new sense of who you are, and what's going on, and where you're going, how you see yourself, and how you look at the world, and what you think is important. If you found that helpful and interesting, and you haven't done so already, why don't you just click on the link below and give us your email so that we can send you alerts for the next segments of PostScript. We'd love to be able to tell you beforehand when things are coming downstream, so you don't have to go look for them. And this is the best way to do that. We assure you that we won't share your information with anyone else. Thanks.